There we go. Hey family, come in. Let's talk. I want to share some things with you before you go and get some rest. And hey, I've actually been trying to make it a personal discipline to get more rest than not. So I get you. Hey Louie, good to see you. Hungry for worship. Miss Cephas' prayer was amazing today. Promise Tarver, I'm gonna get an update from you tomorrow. I'm so proud of you. Hey, Pastor Apostle Josh. K Smiles, hello South Jersey, South Soul Divine Magazine. Ellie Michelle, hello from New NYC. Hey Tavana, hey Prophet Kiva. Hey, everybody, so good to see you. Emery, so good to see you. Apostle Yolanda, hello everybody. This is going to be a very quick Periscope. And I think it's going to bless you. So do me a favor, you know how we do. Go ahead and share it with your networks and share it with those that follow you. Let a family member, a friend know that I'm on. The original Periscope OG, often imitated, never duplicated. Anywho, those of you that follow me know that we're on our way to Washington, D.C., and we're on our way for the National Prophetic Conference. And I want to just give you a strong admonishment to get there, a strong admonishment to be a part of what we're doing. It's not a prophetic training meeting. I do want to say that. It's not a prophetic training, but it is a prophetic meeting where we're going to be speaking to the nation, for the nation, about the nation, sharing God's mind, God's attitude about what we're doing. And what you need to know is that God is very concerned about America right now, and he has a lot that he wants broadcasted. So those of you that have ears to hear, I want you to be there and be a part of what God is doing. Invite somebody. It's going to be amazing. So it's going to be myself. It's going to be Dr. Faith Wakoma, Prophet Hank Kuhneman. It's going to be Son Fannin, a powerful prophet of God, Prophet Mary Crum, Prophet Gabriel Hobson, Keisha Cephas, Sean Smith, and so many more. Sherman Dumas. It's going to be amazing. So you can register there, or you can register online at the National Prophetic Conference, or at nationalpropheticconference.com. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to spend some time hearing God talk about the states and what God is doing and what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be postured for the coming days. The theme of the National Prophetic Conference is the fight for the future. And it's going to be amazing. We are contending for the future, and I don't even have the time tonight to begin to go into how or why that is, but we are in a war and a battle over the future, so it's going to be amazing. Before I go into my admonishment for tonight, shout out to all of you that came to Mass Deliverance. We had a dynamic turnout, and the more we have meetings like this, the more I understand why it's significant that we continue to be focused and remain undistracted. It was a powerful service. We had thousands literally show up Sunday night. It was just totally amazing. There was not an empty seat in the building. We had over 400 in the overflow. We had over 800 in the main sanctuary, and we had seats and rows of seats in all of the hallways. Every hallway was filled with seats. And at All Nations, we are insulted by the notion that a seat deserves to be empty, because an empty seat represents a life somewhere not being touched. So we did a great job. It was amazing. We cast out devils. The love of God was made manifest, and the power of God was made manifest, and they began to scream. It was powerful, and we saw people free. Sunday was an amazing Sunday, man. The power of God, the spirit of praise was all over our church Sunday, and what it created was an expectation for whatever God's got planned for the next season. So thank you so much for making that a success. So see you at the Matt with the Sax, I miss you. See you at the National Prophetic Conference. It's going to be amazing. But I want to talk to you about something for tonight, all right? If you're listening, you're ready for this instruction. I sense that this is something you need to know. And I'm going to go and get some rest. but this is something that you need to know for where God is taking you and for what God is about to do in you, how he's preparing you, what he's adding to you, what he is taking away from you, something you need to consider. So hear my instructions. All right, let's go. You ready? If you're ready, tell me I'm ready by giving me a thumbs up. I want to make sure you're paying attention. Cheryl Ray, yes ma'am, I will continue to pray for you and Pastor Kim. My love to all of them. Please extend it. Hey, listen, All Nations is such a unique church. We took in 20 new members of the mass deliverance service. We had a total of 40 or 41 new members the entire day, and 20 of those new members came from mass deliverance. It was amazing, man. So God is good. We are never not growing at All Nations Worship Assembly. All right, listen, here we go. Here are your instructions for the coming season. Your instructions for the coming season is this. You must learn to discern a divine connection. You must learn to discern a divine connection. I really feel that for a lot of the things that are getting ready to unfold in your life, a lot of the things that the Spirit of God is getting ready to release to you, you've got to be aware when God has orchestrated or arranged for you to come in contact with something that could potentially escort you into the next level. It could manifest as a friend. It could manifest as a relationship. It could manifest as a mentor. It could manifest as a new level of teaching, a new authority figure. But I'm concerned about the inability of many people in the body of Christ to accurately discern a divine connection. And in addition to not rightly discerning a divine connection is being able to accurately define those connections. For example, when you discern a divine connection, that divine connection needs to be defined to function effectively. Major mistake of many people is they don't define their relationships. And I don't think you should be religious about it or you should be brute about it. But after you begin to engage with something or a group of someone's, you've got to begin to apply the principle of definition. The point of our meeting, the point of our interacting, the point of our coming together. How do we measure its effectiveness? How do we know whether it's fruitful? But here's the caution of the Spirit for the next season is not only should you be sensitive to discerning divine connections, you've also got to be sensitive to discerning demonic distractions. Now, to the desperate, they both look the same. Often, many things that manifest, many relationships, opportunities, teachings, etc., sometimes it could be a demonic distraction. But if a person is starved, if a person is bankrupt relationally, if a person even lacks revelation about what God is doing in the coming season, then they won't have very much wherewithal or very much strength to know what's a divine connection from a demonic distraction. When you're growing, when you're progressing, when you're moving forward, there's going to be a lot of activity around your life. New interest, new enemies, new speeds, new opportunities, new conversations, new thoughts, new mentalities, new pain tolerances, new interests, all of that, right? So with all of that activity around your life, it is so important that you have some type of barometer to gauge where this stuff is coming from, how to make it useful in your life, but most importantly, how to steward it effectively. What I know about relationships is that God is concerned about how well we steward them, and existing in them is not stewardship of them. And I know that when God changes seasons, he mainly does them through relationships. He will put things in the people around you that have the ability to aid you in where he wants you to go next. It could be wisdom. It could be insight. It could just be perspectives. Sometimes you benefit very, very, very well from the perspectives of people, an alternate perspective, even if it doesn't change your opinion on something. An alternate perspective has the ability to strengthen why yours is right or verify why it's wrong. So we need not be afraid of difference, and we need not just use agreement as the basis of our connecting, because there's a lot of strength in being around things and people that are different from how we normally are. You can withdraw strength from things that are not necessarily how you are or how you see or what's typical to what you like, right? But this is important because I know as God changes chapters, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of activity, a lot of options, and a lot of opportunities. And here's what I want for your life, beloved, is that you become good at identifying snares, traps, distractions, robbers, thieves, leeches, but that you also become very sensitive to identifying when a divine connection has manifested in your life. It's very important that you realize that. And when you have a divine connection that manifests, sometimes you won't have much explanation for it, but you're going to see the power to bear fruit in what God is doing with you. A couple of ways to identify divine connection is they're certainly going to carry something that is necessary, something that is needful in your life that you may feel deficient in. When God sends relationships that add to you, they're going to specifically add to areas in your life that may stand obstinate to something God is doing. In my life, for example, whenever God has highlighted a divine connection, it has always been in a season where whatever the weakness he was talking to me about, the character tendency, the mentality, the behavior that he began to address, the relationship that manifested actually served not just as an answer, but a resource for the thing God had been dealing with me about. Many of you, if you don't discern divine connections, you will overlook the relationships, the friends, the mentors, the teachers, the pastors, or the church, all of that stuff, right? That source and that resource, things in your life and things in your world that God may be dealing with. Another way to notice them is that there's going to be a kindred spirit. Now, being kindred does not mean being identical and does not being alike. But most of you, if you're like me and if you're wise, you're guarded in your approach to relationships and to relating. And I don't mean in a bitter, cynical, negative, pessimistic sense. You're just guarded in the sense that you want to be able to accurately know the sender and verify the origin of the relationship that's coming to you. So it's not fearful, it's cautious, right? And but after that, you've got to be able to sacrifice a level of caution. When it's a divine connection, you may end up feeling like there's not a need to be as guarded as you normally are. Pay attention to that. There will be certain relationships and friendships or associations, or even if you're in transition to a new city or a new church or under a new leader or whatever your change may be, you may end up feeling like, wow, I just let you right in, or I didn't really put you through the normal protocols or processes that I put other people through to vet them. If you try to overly process that, and if you try to make sense of that, you may miss up what's going on. But when a divine connection shows up, one of the things that may get in the way of them is fear. If you're a wounded person, if you're fearful, if you're somebody who has unconfronted hurts in your life and relationships has basically been the basis of a lot of your life's pain, part of what you lose as a hurt individual is the ability to faithfully trust in and to faithfully be confident in connections that the Lord adds to your life. So be cautious about this. Now, the thing about deception and distraction is this. In the adverse of that, when a distraction comes, they're going to also look like help as well. But here's the deal. What they're mainly probably going to help is that they're probably going to resurrect, distract your attention away from, or they're either going to highlight or bring concentration to areas in your life that God is not dealing with. You see, God is a God of themes. He's a very thematic God. So God is dealing with you, for example, about being whole. It's not very likely that he would send relationships that would encourage you to remain bitter or celebrate bitter behavior or unforgiving behavior. And they may have the conversation of hell. Most of the assaults against leaders, against churches, manifest in people who at first appear like they are lifesavers. This is why discernment is quintessential, because you've got to be able to identify them and if you're mature, quickly. Because you don't want to waste time investing in a relationship that has no power to graduate, has no power to mature, has no power to carry you, support you, stand with you through a next season or a coming season. Now, God is not stocking you for your past. He is not supplying you for your past. He is not sending relationships to you for your past. Your past is there. It's happened. It's probably not going to happen again. The nuance to that is that he will send relationships, teachings, involvements, associations that will have the ability to address the conditioning of the past, but they're not going to encourage you to go back there, to relive that, to retort to being a person that Jesus Christ wanted dead. Anybody that comes in your world and they carry and they host something that almost killed you, and they almost relax your sensitivity to that, it's not a big of deal. You can go back. Probably not a divine connection. The people that the Lord is going to encircle you with and surround you with are going to be strict resources and strict provisions of the future. Now, because these people are provisions for the future, they will have insight into why your past was your past, how your past is still trying to creep into your present, how you may be tempted during a moment of duress and or strain to go back and become something that the Lord does not want you to become. But the strength of these relationships are going to be future-based, where God is taking you, the fruit God is producing in your life, the level of love He's called you to walk in, the level of forgiveness He's called you to walk in. But more importantly, probably most importantly, the level of focus that God has called you to. Generally speaking, a divine connection will help you guard, garrison, and protect the thing God has you focusing on. They're going to serve as not only an accountability base, but they're going to serve what I call my wife as a human diary, a human journal, where you allow your heart to vent, your fears to express themselves, your train of thought, that's the word for your logic and its corresponding sciences, the things that you think that justify how you feel or what you want, all of those things. But you've got to allow that stuff out of you so it doesn't set up processes or mentalities in you that ends up stagnating you in relationships and money and spirituality, all of that stuff. So that's important. God is sending relationships to stock you for your future. But if that be the case, why do you think hell wants to distract you? Let's see who can get this. Why would hell want to distract you? Because hell is also nervous of, fearful of, committed to, posted by the elements of your future that perhaps you don't know yet. See, the devil and God is after the same thing, bearing fruit in your future. Satan is out to release and to produce and to invest destructive things to your future, to contaminate, to distract, to alter, to rob the things that the Lord has purposed for you as you graduate and as you grow. They want the same thing. But when you dedicate to giving that and surrendering that and sacrificing that to the Lord, part of what comes with submission is sensitivity to divine connection. So I want to challenge you. God may be highlighting people to your life. He may be reconnecting you with people that you didn't connect with. He may be giving you courage to embrace new relationships. He may be giving you courage to submit to a new teaching environment, a new level of revelation, a new church, a new city, a new whatever. Have the sensitivity to discern a divine connection, but also ask God for the discernment to rightfully and quickly identify a distraction. Because when you are distracted, you are losing precious time that you can't really get back. And time is the utmost powerful currency that you have in destiny and in focus and all of that. So that is the skill that I'd like you to develop in this next season. And the skill that I would like for you to develop is the sensitivity, but also the courage to discern divine connections, to define them, to give them courage, to apply your relationship policies to that of 1 Corinthians 13, where love hopeth all things. Is not quick, is rude or ill-mannered, not easily irritated, all of that stuff. So think about that tonight as you rest. Think about that tonight as you reflect on your relational platter survey. And think about that as you are evaluating where you are and where you're going. How invested are you in your divine connections? Are you transparent enough? Have you recognized them? Are you lazy in them? Are you casual about it? Are you not as passionate about them as you need to be? Are you not as bottom line as you need to be? You need to be bottom line, transparent. Don't play flirtatious mind games and psychological battles. Just let it out. This is who I am. This is where I'm going. This is what God is doing in my life. Are you supposed to be a part? Are you the one? Or are we to look for another? Now, don't approach this in dread, because you may end up giving Satan room to operate in your relational survey and make you miss a lot of very, very important relationships. So don't approach it with dread, but apply wisdom and apply the fear of the Lord and apply what you know heretofore or at this juncture about your future, and let your future do the deciding. I hope this really, really, really helps you. If this has blessed you, please let me know by letting me know you were blessed. Man, I wish I could go into the power of a divine connection. Divine connections can open up new levels of favor, new levels of clarity, new levels of insight, new depths of ability, new confidence, new understanding. All of that stuff can be opened up by a divine connection. And I would hate for you to miss out on it, living your life in fear. So I hope that blessed you. I hope that blessed you. Okay, good, good. Well, apparently I'm starting to freeze, so you know what that means. I wanted this to really bless you, and I wanted this to be something to give you some meditating capability, or something to meditate on, for the next weekend. So listen, I am going to get some rest, and I just wanted to spend a little time with you. Join me for the National Prophetic Conference, nationalpropheticconference.com. It's going to be an amazing time in the presence of the Lord. The spirit of prophecy is going to be there. Clarity, wisdom, revelation, details, confirmation. It's going to be a tremendous blessing to the people of God. I will see you later. I'm going to get me some drugs for these allergies and rest up so I can be 100%. Thank you for your prayers, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.